we go. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dwayne Hale. I'm part of Mothership Products. Today we have let's see, what do we have? We have a we actually have a six-pack. Worked out that way. Pete slid in the last second here. But we're going to be talking about. Oh man, a rookie! Look at that, Nick's a rookie. We're going to talk about the goals that we set at the beginning of the year, how we're coming along on them. A little bit of an update of where we're at, and a little bit of accountability, a little ribbing of hey, get your butt in gear kind of stuff. So before we get to that, let's introduce people and let us know what you're drinking. Shane, what do you got going?
So my name is Shane, the Resin Grind Picker, and I'm not drinking tonight because this week I had the flu really bad, so I'm just drinking some Coca-Cola. So yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Andy, how about you?
How you doing, Dwayne? I'm Andy, the Pearhead Picker, and tonight I am drinking actually iced tea. The wife. Don't laugh.
Wow.
No. Everybody's on the wagon.
Yeah, well, the wife decided after last week that her and I need to go on a diet, so we started this no carb thing, and it's kicking my ass.
Yeah,
man, I didn't realize like everything I love has carbs in it, but honestly, it's doing pretty good. We're both doing like really well. I know a lot of it's probably water right now, but yeah, it's really hard. I mean, I had a Miller Lite or Mick Ultra a little bit ago, but I figured that was going to be it for me today. So, but yeah, it's definitely been difficult. So,
awesome. Nick, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I was drinking a Double Dragon, which is a Welsh beer. Some YouTuber friends of ours from Wales came up and saw us over the weekend, and they bought me some Welsh beer, but that's all gone. So I'm now actually on orange juice. So
the hangover killer right there.
Exactly.
Lonnie, how about you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Lonnie, also known as Garage Flips on YouTube, and I bought like one of those build your own six-pack things at the grocery store today. And the first one I'm going to indulge in is this Guinness Drought, and it's pretty tasty. I like it. I've always liked Guinness. So, but welcome to the show, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers. And Mr. Pete, how are you, buddy?
Good, guys. What's up? I'm Pete, Craigless Hunter, and just like Lonnie, I'm drinking some dark beer today. I've been on it for 3 days, actually. It's Krambacher from Germany, dark beer.
Yum.
Been fishing for last 3 days, and that's all we've been drinking. So I got some left over, and I'm continuing.
Wait a minute. Wait. You got some left over. What happened there? When you go fishing, you usually don't come home with any beer.
Well, actually,
so what happened?
Actually, all the guys that went, we brought so much that I'm coming back with the beer.
Oh, okay. So you overindulged. I see. Gotcha. Sweet. So again, we decided to talk about our goals that we set at the beginning of the year. Since already, guys, the year's half over. Can you believe it? Right? 2018 is already half over. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing that most everybody did the same thing I did. I had to go back and look at what my goals were.
Yep.
I mean, I knew what one of them was, but the other ones were a little bit smaller. So I'm pretty sure everybody had to go look and see what their goals were, just so that they had some reference to compare to. So what I wanted to talk about is first, where are we at? I mean, Lonnie, where are you? What was your goals? What did you set at the beginning of the year, and update us on how you're doing on it?
Well, I had to go back and look, and like you did, and we actually did 2 shows on goals.
I know. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And they were like each like 2 hours. But anyway, one of the big ones was I was going to every day like keep a spreadsheet and put down how much I listed for that day. And I think that might have lasted till about January 10th or 11th.
Good job. Yeah, 2 weeks. Almost an entire 2 weeks. That's good.
Yeah. So that did not go that well. And unfortunately, that is probably behind, I guess, hand in hand with sourcing, with an eBay business, it's like one of the most important things you can do. So,
Right.
Actually, it's funny. I didn't even know about this topic, but like 5 days ago, I redid my goals again to track my listing. I'm doing it on the whiteboard, and every day I'm telling my YouTube viewers, hey, I listed this many items for this much money today. And so I'm kind of like reinvigorated things. It's not too late, man. We're only halfway through the year. So
and that's the thing is that another one of the thing about goals is they're going to change. You can't, like, I was thinking Jory was going to be on the channel. Jory, he had goals, but then he had some things that happened in his life where, now he doesn't have the job he once had. So of course his goals are going to have to change. So, you can kind of have a long-term goal in mind, but it's got to be fluid. Otherwise, you're just going to set yourself up for failure. So yeah, being able to change some of them and redirect them makes a lot of sense. So when you said that you were doing your listing, writing them down, and then I remember just recently that you started doing that again, just a little bit different.
But let's be clear, though. I'll speak like Obama. Let's be clear. I did not show much discipline at all with that goal at the beginning of the year.
Oh, sure.
Like that was a major lack of discipline on my part. But hey, I'm gonna try again. I'm still trying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the only person that really affects is you. So I mean, you don't need to apologize to us. You're the one that set the goal and it didn't work for you. So whatever.
Yeah.
How about you, Andy? What was one of your goals that you had set? And where you at?
Off the top of my head, like I said, we had 2 videos on there, so I'm sure that this is at least one of them. I definitely wanted to get my wife more integrated into the business. That is slowly coming along. She's been a lot more receptive. She has been helping me a lot. She's done a lot with some of my inventory stuff. She's taken a few days here and there to actually, like, one day she wanted to iron a whole bunch of clothes. I'm like, no, you don't have to iron this stuff. Just steam it. I go, that's all I need. And she's like, but she really enjoys ironing. It's therapeutic for her. So I was like, fine, if that's what you want to do. But it's still, she went through a bunch of my, like I said, I normally don't have a big, death pile or whatever, a clothing and stuff, but she went through, did all that for me. I've showed her how to use pretty much the whole inventory system, how to actually find stuff on eBay now. So if something happens to me or whatever, she could actually take over. Or, if I happen to be, maybe, if we have a meetup or a rally or something and she doesn't come with, I could actually have her here to where she could now, at least print labels, figure out what boxes are, and I don't think she really realized like how much is involved in all this. I mean, I think she really just figured out, it was like, okay, you just sell something, grab a box, slap a label, and out the door it goes. But there's actually a lot more to it. And she was like, man, she goes, I didn't realize like it was like all of that, and you got to keep track of this and weights and the difference between priority and flat rate. She had like no idea, but she's never dealt with any of this sort of stuff. So I've just been trying to get her a lot more involved in that. And this week, I do believe she's going to start hopefully taking over my books, or at least getting in there pretty good. I may have to start keeping in some tabs, but she's got a little more free time than I do right now. So, that's another thing that I've been trying to outsource the bookkeeping, because I cannot keep up with that on my own. And lately now, about the past, almost month now at work, we've been putting in 12-hour days, which I'm not used to. Normally, I work a 10-hour day. Sometimes it's 9. So them extra hours are just cutting into, all my stuff. So if I can get that onto her, that's going to be a huge burden lifted off of me, to where then I can focus on other stuff. So yeah, definitely that part's been going well so far. So
that's awesome. And anytime you can, especially a non-paid employee like that, I mean, she obviously gets paid in different ways.
Yeah,
but, somebody helping you.
And that's the thing is actually, when she was doing some of that stuff, I was actually, I was giving her money. I know it's still joint money, however you want it, but it was like, hey, you have no idea how much I appreciated that. Just you going through steaming some of that stuff or doing whatever. I mean, that's a ton of time that's taken off of my hands. Where I don't have to prep stuff. I mean, and normally I'm a lot like Ronnie. Ronnie Hart. He made a comment one time. Somebody asked him about ironing, prepping, and doing all that stuff. He goes, I don't buy clothes that I need to do that stuff for. I'm real selective. And after he said that one time, I really kind of took that mentality as like, yeah, why am I buying all that? Why am I buying stuff that I got to do all this extra work to? Be more selective with my stuff. And that's actually really paid off, because now I can just come home and take care of it. I don't have to spend that time, ironing it or doing, whatever, just that prep. So yeah, it's definitely been helpful to get her more involved. Awesome. Yeah. So that was a big goal that I did have last year, is to get her more involved. And, maybe one of these days, I'll get her where she can maybe start doing some of her own stuff, and start bringing in, because she just knows about different things that I don't know about. So, but she's always wanted me to incorporate them into my store, and I really would like to have a separate, a separate space for her if she decides to go that route.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, how about Pete? Pete, what goals did you set? You weren't on the show at the beginning of the year, but I'm sure, being a businessman that you are, you have some goals that you had set. And how are you coming along on them?
Well, my first goal was that I was going to be celebrating Poland winning the World Cup, and that didn't happen.
Oh dear.
Go England right now. Go England right now, Nick.
We have a chance, Pete.
You have a chance. My team was completely disintegrated, and it was a total disaster. But anyway, I had two major goals this year. One of them is doing extremely well. The second goal, just like my team, completely disintegrated. So let me start with the bad one first. So at the beginning of the year, probably a lot of you who follow me, I started my own challenge with doing my own separate store just on electronics. This was at the beginning of the year. I did it for a couple months, and then kabosh, no more. I just couldn't handle it. I'm being honest. It was too much work between my business and trying to run this separate thing that I wanted to do. And it's just, I told myself I'm going to be spending only 10, 12, maybe 15 hours a week. Mm-hmm. When you already work, 60, 70, sometimes 80 hours a week, shooting also videos on top of it and trying to squeeze, another 10, 15 hours into that week, it was almost impossible. So after 2 months, absolutely, I had to hang it up. I just kind of gave up on it. Never did an update really video about it. I had a lot of questions, a lot of people asking, so I might have to come back and do one of those updates. But it's just a reality. It's too much. You can only handle and do so much in a day. It's just
absolutely. There's only 24 hours, and however, if you work 16 of them at one job, it's going to be hard to put in another, 2 or 3 at another.
Yeah. So, and plus, the summer showed up, right? And all of a sudden you want to do some other things too, and you want to go fishing, and you got trips with the family, a little vacation here and there, and then it's like, okay, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I got to put it on the back burner. Maybe I'll come back to it, at the end of the season again. So that's a big failure.
Well, what did you do with that inventory? Do you still have that inventory, or did you put it into the shop inventory?
You know what? I cherry picked what I really liked, and I left it. It's actually sitting right next to me here. Few good pieces.
Okay.
The rest of it, I brought it all to the shop, and some of it went right on a shelf in a shop, and some of it is being listed or sold already. So yeah, pretty much just got rid of most of the merchandise. So now the second goal was for us to reach 1,000 listings this year on eBay. So last year we ended with about 500 listings. We are right now through half a year at 750. So we are right at that mark where we need to be. Although we gotta need to ramp up a little bit quicker, because I would like to be ready, kind of for the fourth quarter. Not that I really do extremely big amount of business on a fourth quarter, but I would like to have that 1,000 listings already by the end of, I don't know, October, September, one of these months, so but we are right on track. So I'm very happy about that. These were 2 major goals that I had this year, and one of them complete failure, and one of them is right on track.
That's awesome. No, I mean, and like I said, learning from that you couldn't, you found out what you couldn't do. You realized you went too far. You went past what you could do. That's a learning experience, if nothing else. You didn't lose money. You just have to step back and reallocate it different ways. So to me, that's a great learning experience.
So Pete, I have a question for you. What was the to get to 750, or actually to get to 1K? Obviously, there has to be like some behavioral change that you were going to make. What have you done differently, or have your employees done differently to get there?
Well, the main thing is that my part-time employee, well, he's not almost full-time, but it's getting there. You know what I mean? So he's getting a lot more hours, and he's helping Vicky, who's the full-time lister,
right, big
time. So she's staying on track, whatever she's been doing, maybe picked up a little bit as well too. But he's the big one, getting more listings out there, Gotcha. Plus us, we changed a little bit strategy in a shop. I'm going kind of a little bit more through the shop and cleaning out stuff in a shop that we kind of missed, that it's been sitting there forever. And now it's time. All right, let's put it online. I mean, there's no reason it's been sitting here. We missed it. It's been sitting in a shop for a year. I found stuff that it's been sitting there for even 2 years, So it's like, if it didn't sell in 2 years in a shop, it's not going to sell. Okay, so it's time to move it online. So I have a lot more actually merchandise to put it online at the moment, at least.
Gotcha.
That's awesome. Let's see, what was I going to say? Nick, again, you weren't. I don't think you were here at the very beginning. So, what were your goals that you had set?
Actually, I do remember we had a show. I think it was about kind of goals in a way. It's about stepping outside of your comfort zone and challenging yourself. And do you remember I shared an idea that I'd had in my head for years?
Yeah, with a pub. Thing.
A project which involved
getting
lots of pubs, traditional English pubs involved, and it would be a treasure hunt interactive game thing. I put an awful lot of time and effort into that and got really quite stressed with it. There was so much more work involved. Like with most projects, I think, in your head, it all sounds quite simple. When I got to grips with it, it was a lot of work. I was getting a lot of knockbacks. Despite the project being tailored to help these businesses, that was part of the project behind it, was to help these small businesses. They weren't really interested, a lot of them. And I was getting really quite stressed trying to convince people to get on board. So I dropped it after a few months. And about 2 weeks ago, it was still rattling around inside my head. I couldn't let it go. So I've really gone for it the last 2 weeks. And I've now got enough pubs signed up to start. I've got a printer lined up who's prepared to do the printing work for me. So it looks like it's happening. Yeah. There's still so much.
Sometimes it's not always the time frame you expect it to be in, but as long as it's still in there, and if nothing else, you keep it, like you said, kind of in the back burner all the time. That hey, it can rise up anytime.
Exactly, and I think
makes more sense.
I think anything that's worth doing isn't particularly easy, and I think I said to you last time, it's an idea that will not. It's like a little worm in my head. I can't let this thing go. And after I dropped it and I said, this is stressing me out too much, and Andrea said, look, you just need to let this go now because it's really stressing you out. It was probably a month or two later, and I had to start it up again. And I'm glad I did, because I had a new attitude to it. I went and knocked on a load more doors, and I got more yeses and nos. So, yeah, I'm happy. It's going to happen. Something's going to happen now. Whether it's a success and it takes off, I don't really care. It's just going to happen. So, yeah.
It almost sounds like it's your destiny, the way you couldn't get rid of it, the way it stuck with you. It sounds like destiny.
It's partly that, and partly I'm a stubborn, what. You know what I mean? And I think in this line of work, being self-employed, I think you'll all agree that you have to have that stubborn streak. You have to have that, I will make this work. And that's just part of me, I think.
Well, and another thing is you want it for so long, so now if you don't try it, you're going to regret it.
Oh, absolutely, Pete. Yeah, you nailed it. That's totally. When Andrea and I discussed it, and I said I need to stop this because I'm getting really stressed, I almost instantly regretted it, and that's why, a few months later, I came back to it. but with a slightly different attitude this time. And I think I'm a little bit more relaxed, and that's helped.
Yeah, sometimes
That's
you just got to take a step back, take a breather, and then, new ideas all of a sudden arise. Oh, I wasn't thinking that. Oh, now I know. Oh, let me do this way.
Yeah. And I think the fact that a number of these landlords and pubs would just instantly say, I'm not interested, really, really got to me, because it's like, this is a great idea and it's going to help you guys out. And I just had to realize I don't care. It's the ones that say yes that allow me to get it started. And once I've got something I can show people that's working, I can go back to the others quite confidently and say, look, this is what I was talking about. Do you understand it now? You know what I mean? Trying to sell somebody an idea that doesn't exist is not easy.
They're probably
it's selling that vision is tough.
They're probably looking at you like, okay, what's this guy's angle? Like he's trying to scam us somehow. Everybody's like really, Like if somebody cold called you, you'd probably be the same way, Nick, unless they really pitched it.
And that's why I found it hard approaching these businesses, because when I had a high street store, we used to get cold call salesmen as they were coming in every day who were literally trying to sell me something. And I just got so tired of those people. And that was the attitude I was getting, understandably, trying to get past that brick wall and saying, look, I'm trying to help you guys out with this project. Yeah, it was soul destroying.
My wife has a saying that she says all the time, and it really rings true for a lot of things. And it's, if it doesn't work, find another way. Hey, if it's not working this way, let's find another way to do it. And we'll try this. And if it doesn't work, we'll find another way, and you just keep at it. It's kind of a persistence thing.
Yeah.
I think you'll be kind of blown away though, Nick, like those other businesses that did sign up. Once they start getting results, I think you're going to have pubs call you.
I hope so. I hope the word of mouth thing between landlords and businesses will be part of it.
Well, now how much work is it after the fact? After you get it started, what is the tax on your time? If a whole bunch of businesses came in, is it a matter of calling up the parents saying, hey, I need 24 more cards, or is there an actual thing that you have to do to keep it going?
Once the pub is set up, I won't go into the whole detail of how it works again, but once the pub is set up with their little card and their rubber stamp, that's my work done. But each new pub that's signed up, there will be that upfront work. And then beyond that, it just grows in numbers. So,
that's
awesome.
Is there revenue involved for you?
Sorry?
Is there revenue involved for you like at the start, or are you going to like build it up first and then find some way to monetize it later?
It's monetized in a small way right from the get-go.
Okay.
But it's not really about the money, this one.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially it is long term, but yeah, this is more for me.
Awesome.
So yeah, there you go. Like I say, I'll keep you informed.
Yeah, absolutely. Shane, how about you? I'm sure you had some pretty lofty goals. I think I actually remember a couple of yours, so you better be careful. I'm going to call you out on it.
So I don't particularly remember all of them, but I know that one of them was to get my reseller's license in the state of Illinois, which I did. And then I actually have a part-time employee now, and I think that was one of them as well. And then I think my ultimate goal is to get to an anchor store by the fourth quarter, but I don't know if that's possible. So I think like the backup to that would be to get to an anchor store by the first of next year. And so a lot of my sales, like, they've been picking up because I've been listing, a lot more. I've been, kind of leveraging my lister to list stuff that I don't really like to list or want to list. Mm-hmm. And I just take the pictures and shoot them to him. But, there was a couple weeks, like in the last couple months, where I've hit 1K in sales for that week. So, I'm kind of moving along. But my goals have changed a lot too. Probably one of my newer goals is that I'm going to get out of clothing, not completely, but a lot. And I'm going to do a lot of shoes. And if the piece of clothing, if it doesn't sell for about $25, I'm not even going to touch it. And I'm going to go a lot more into hard goods and stuff.
That's great. Yeah. Like we've been saying, the goals change as things change, and having it be fluid is important. So one of the ones that because I had to go back, like I told Lonnie here at the beginning, I had to go back and look and see what my goals, what some of them were. And I saw one of yours, and one of yours was to get into more replenishables, bulk items where you have 100 of them and you just keep rolling them.
Yep.
And how's that going for you so far?
So far, I have 7 wholesalers that I've been approved for, and so I've started doing some wholesale stuff on a smaller level. But then I've been hitting up a lot of like the closing sales. So I've been doing a lot of Toys R Us stuff. And then probably starting in like a month, I'm going to be doing a lot of the Bergner stores and Bon-Ton stores around my area. But that's been going well. And then the wholesale thing, it's a little rocky because then you got to sign up, you got to get approved. And then if you don't buy the right item, it sells super slow. So, sure. And I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. No, that's great. Like you said, you had big plans. When I was looking at all our plans, not that any of them were anybody else's were minute, but yours seemed to be a little bit, major growth in what you were, from where you were to what you wanted to do.
Right.
And it sounds like you're getting there, and that's awesome, man. I thumbs up.
Yeah, it's not easy. I've been, I work a full-time job. So on top of this, so I probably put in full-time hours as well in reselling. So, my week is like an 80-hour week.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would imagine everybody here on this panel works at close to 80 hours, whether it's one job or two or just theirs, or, there's a ton of hours spent. Adam, I want to thank you very much for the super chat. I want to thank Dwayne and Heather and all the sellers that got together to help Barb last night. Great job. Thank you very much, Adam. Yeah, it was, it actually turned out way bigger than we had planned. So that was good. Hey, we had somebody join. John, how are you, buddy?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Oh, hey, John. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he snuck in under the door,
Knocking on the quiet. Yeah, hey.
Whitney is in Denver visiting a friend this weekend, so I had Darcy duty and putting her to bed and everything. But she is
How long is she going to be there?
In Denver till Tuesday.
Oh, man, see, me and Heather go the 9th. We're going to Denver the week of the 9th through the 13th.
Oh, wow, so. You guys are just going to miss each other.
Yeah, I'd be like, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
What you drinking tonight, bud?
I am drinking a Bell's Oberon Ale.
Sweet.
Very tasty. Kind of like a Blue Moon.
Yeah. So we decided to do talking about our goals and how we an update on where we are from the beginning of the year and how things have changed. I think I'm the only one that hasn't gone, and then we'll come to you. So my major goal for this year was I wanted to list twice as many items as I did last year. It didn't have anything to do with how many listings on eBay, but how many listings I actually listed, or how many listings I did. I kind of tweaked it a little bit because originally it was how many items, but then I expanded out into a couple different platforms. I sell on Mercari and Poshmark as well. So I've been doing a lot of cross posting. So it went from actual items to listings. So, and I'm proud to say I'm at 559 right now, and I was at 503 last year.
That's
so
awesome.
I've already doubled. I've already done as many this year as I did last year. So I'm right on track to do
Cheers
my
to that, buddy. Way to go.
Nice job.
Actually the cross posting really helped me out because it's a lot easier to cross post than it is to post a new item each time. So
and you've been very, very busy at work too, so that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah, it is. It's been crazy. June, I was telling Andy that June is my biggest month for my day job. I do twice the business in June that I do any other month, and it takes a toll because I'm not home much. I'm out on site at customer sites like 3 weeks out of the year, out of the month, and so it's really spotty on. I just come home and I just want to crash. I'm tired. I just want to sit, relax, eat dinner, and go to bed. So I haven't been doing exactly. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask what is the day job, Dwayne? I can't remember what it is you do, Gina.
I run a calibration lab. So I test people's test equipment to verify that it does what it says it does.
Oh, okay.
So, and June we do all the hospitals in Utah, and from there's about a 90-mile stretch of hospitals that there's like 9 of them, I think. So it takes up most of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that I haven't been doing that I was hoping to do, and I kind of set it as a minor goal, is I wanted to be more consistent with my my listings. Do 3 a day or 4 a day. 3 a day kind of figured out to be roughly a double at the end of the year. But I found that I can't really do that with my work schedule. I do most of my listing on the weekend. So I'll do prep work all week. I'll do some pictures sometimes. I'll inventory. And then come Saturday and Sunday, that's when I really buckle down and I can pump out a lot of listings. But I've kind of done all the pre-work all week, so it's kind of just sitting down and doing it. So that was my major goal, and I'm on track. So as long as I can keep it up for another 6 months, I should be able to get there.
That's awesome, Dwayne.
All right, guys,
Fantastic.
drink it up. I just sold something.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, wait a minute.
Nice.
But there's only like 3 people drinking beer.
Would you sell, Pete, a T-shirt or what? A T-shirt, I'm gonna guess.
I sold this Stenson vintage hat.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's a nice hat.
Not a whole lot of money, $25 plus $8 for shipping.
Nice. Hey,
That's not bad at all.
So yeah, $25 sale is a pretty decent sale for me. I know it's not for you, but for me, 25 is kind of mid-grade. So, all right, John, you're up, buddy. What were your goals for the beginning of the year?
Well, my main goal was just to sell all that media. Gosh. I think I had set a goal of April 1st for myself. And I remember all you guys saying I was insane, but I pretty much hit it. I had sold through like all my bulk through like the first or second week of April, and I only had some eBay sales, left to make stuff I had already listed. But yeah, I'm like out of the media business. I've been out of the media business for a while now.
I bet you probably never want to see another DVD.
It's funny you say that because now that I'm at yard sales, I'm finding stuff that I didn't even look at before I bought the media, like different brands and niches that I had previously overlooked that now I know. It's like, oh, okay, that's going to bring $20-25. So I'm picking it up now.
I was going to say, did you learn some stuff to look out for? Because that's my past is all media sales, and that's why I still look for it because I know what I'm looking for. So I'm guessing you learned a lot through that.
I did learn a lot. The way I broke it down is basically everything got sorted. So like, video games, PCs, miscellaneous, and I just looked up a ton of stuff, like so much stuff. I didn't look up music CDs and I didn't look up like basic movie DVDs, but basically everything else I was looking up and seeing if it had any value and made my piles and listed the stuff and made some great sales. I mean, there was a number of things I sold for over $200 each out of that lot.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question, John. Would you do this deal if there was no, if there is no internet?
No, there's no way, because a huge chunk of the money I made from it was the eBay stuff. That rare software and video games and stuff. I mean, I made thousands of dollars off that. The bulk sales, it was about even. My bulk sales, the money that I got from that was about the same as what I got from the eBay stuff.
Yeah, I stole that question from Anita here because she was saying, I don't know how well we'll live without the internet. All of us here on a panel, I think, I don't care how big or small the business is, without doing this online, we would not exist.
That's a great point.
Very true. Very true.
Even though that I run my brick and mortar store, without that connection to the rest of the world, I would not survive.
And I get the opportunity to compete with guys like Pete that has brick and mortar. He has to compete with me. That's pretty awesome. Like 30 years ago, Pete didn't have to worry about a guy like me. What am I going to do? Run a classified ad in the newspaper?
Right.
That's a good point.
That's what resellers had to do in the 90s. Run classifieds or have yard sales or flea markets.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. The internet, obviously we already know that it really affected everything, but it does. It really expands your network to places that you would never, ever have gone before.
It's
you wouldn't have been able to.
It's an equalizer, right? Like you don't have to. I don't have to pay a bunch of rent or hire a bunch of employees. As long as I have a good item to sell, I can sell it.
Yeah,
That's powerful.
Well, and that's I fully think
reach all those people. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Shane.
I was just gonna say I fully think that's why a lot of the of these big stores are closing down now is because it's the unwillingness to change, and they haven't had to deal with that. For all through like Bonton Company, like Bergner's and stuff. They were founded back in like the 70s. They didn't have to deal with that.
yeah, big time. And they're just realizing all of a sudden and waking up that now, they're playing catch up. That's why the latest thing that happened, with that they were pushing, to tax the internet sales. So it becomes, the same playing level, right? Even though that it's coming, I don't know how soon actually, because this is just mind-boggling how they push this without actually having idea how they're going to implement it or do it. I know it's going to have to go through the Congress and stuff, but it's coming. Sooner or later, it's going to be here. It still doesn't change that this is the most powerful tool as a reseller that we have. I mean, and it doesn't matter if you are a Target or a little guy. It's just so powerful. You're reaching so many people. Just click, 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 click. You know what I mean? It's just amazing.
I had a conversation with a guy I was in a skate shop. I was actually getting some grip tape put on this board, which is actually for me, believe it or not, 45-year-old skateboarder. And I chatted to the guy. I said to him, the last time I was in his, it's the same business I used. Last time I used it was 1989 when I was into skating in the 80s. And I said to him, how's business now? They're in this great big warehouse place. The store is literally 20 times as big. And he said, we're selling way more stuff, but the margins are now way for thin because he's competing with companies in America that are shipping to the UK. He's competing with all the internet firms, and there is no margin left. So although they're now running this massive operation, they're making the same amount of money they were when they had this tiny 30-foot square shop. So it's interesting. That's all down to the internet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The game definitely changed.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And it will change. You guys going to be blown away next 10 years. There's going to be another crazy thing, that it's just going to be driving. It's just, I think it's just the beginning of what's happening, and it's actually moving so quick. I mean, what, 20 years? Really? And e-commerce is only around for a good solid 10? It's just crazy. So
it looks the way selling is evolving. I think I've heard you talk about this, Pete, is that there's going to be more and more and more niche markets. I mean, we've got Etsy, Poshmark. It's just going to increase because though they can target their demographics so perfectly, so their advertising, they get more bang for their buck that way. So there's just going to be more and more like that, whether it's, for stereo equipment or different collectibles. Like there's going to be an Etsy and a Poshmark for more things to come because those blueprints work and people will copy them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, and you got to put it like into perspective, like eBay changing to Aiden eventually. That's just going to help eBay. I mean, I think that they're going to attract more people to buy on the platform, getting rid of PayPal, just because it's the one-click buy and people don't have to have that PayPal account. Yeah,
the more smoother you can make their transaction and quicker, the better they will do and more clients they will have. Nobody wants to click 5 times.
Right.
I would assume
we're getting even more lazy.
I would assume that e-commerce is going to become more and more. We don't really know when it comes to the future, but I would assume that it's going to become more and more about social media, just because, like with social media, they have so much information on the things that all the users like, our preferences, the things we like to look at, and everything. It's so much easier for those guys to market to, like for a Facebook or an Instagram. Instagram knows who you follow. So if they had like a shopping experience similar to eBay, they could like laser market their, the goods to their users. And so could Facebook. If they had an eBay, I know they have the marketplace, but if they had like an eBay on Facebook, the marketing would be so much better than eBay's.
Well,
You know?
Facebook has all of that set up already. You can pay to have
Right.
laser targeted advertising on Facebook for your own products.
Right. Yeah.
They have all of that set up. They're years ahead of where you think they are.
Well, and that's the thing is eBay. They have the they have the infrastructure that they've had, and now all these other platforms are coming out with better, whether it's user interface or whatever that. And eBay is always trying to catch up, because they started so long ago. Their base is solid, but they see all these markets that all these other social medias or grabbing, or Poshmarks or Mercari, so or Amazon, they're always trying to catch up, and I think it's good. I think eBay's doing a decent job, but it seems like they're always a step or two behind. They're not on the cutting edge anymore. They're more playing catch up.
Well, they've tried to like start doing social, like make their platform more social, like with having collections and having followers and this and that. It's a fail. It's like Google trying to do their social network stuff. Like they had like Google Plus and what was that latest thing? Like Google sucks at social networking too, but
It's
eBay.
People don't identify eBay as that at all, do they? That's what
No, they
Facebook's for. You know what I mean? People don't think of eBay as a social place, so they're not looking for that.
Well, a lot of the millennials, they don't even know what eBay is because they're so used to doing the stuff with the Instagram and Poshmark, everything through apps and and what have you. Yeah, a lot of those people don't even know what eBay is now. So I mean, I think that there is that shift to go, to that different direction with the younger generation.
I think that's what the apps are proving. They're proving they can pop up and market themselves to the new upcoming generation. And if eBay doesn't catch up, all of eBay's users will just get old and die with it.
Yep.
Will steal all the customers, and I think that's the way they're playing it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I said, they're just not. They're always playing catch up now. I don't think they have and when they do try, like Lonnie said, when they do try and market outside of their comfort zone, it's a huge fail. Anybody else have any other of their goals that they set and updated on?
I'm curious to hear what your guys' goals are for the rest of the year.
Yeah, there you go. How have they changed? What are you doing to meet the goals that you made or change over? I know one of Lonnie's, since like I said, I went and looked at the video. One of yours was to really be ready for fourth quarter this year, to really hit it hard. And is that something you're going to start soon? I mean, I know it's early in the year, but are you going to start, stockpiling?
I'm already doing it. I like eBay is cool because there's like only one thing you have to do on eBay to win, and that is list good shit. Like that's all you have to do. It's so like that's all you got to do is list good shit. So that's all I got to do, man. And that's what I'm trying to do. Like sometimes I'm still, like you can't always source the best stuff, but I'm trying. And sometimes I'm sourcing, $15, $10, $20 stuff, but sometimes I'm getting like $100, $200, $300 stuff too. But yeah, I'm stockpiling, man. And I've got some I think I've got some big deals ahead of me that I should be talking about soon. I'm not going to talk about them yet, but yeah. I mean, moving
you
up,
were
dude.
really adamant about RA, that you were going to go hard and heavy RA.
I might
fourth quarter.
I think I will. I will make some RA moves when it comes that time, because I did a few last year, and I'm not a big RA guy. I don't like doing that much. I like going out and finding junk and flipping it, but in that certain time frame, you can make a killing with RA. So I'm going to hit that hard. I'm going to have cash ready, man. Cash ready, dude.
And that's the important part. Just be ready, fiscally be ready. Be ready to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. So, I wanted to ask Nick, how a while ago you bought out an auto parts store, basically. How's that going? I mean, are you out of the auto parts business? You still have a little bit? Or, have you blown it all out? What's the deal?
Okay, this is a couple of weeks out of date, but this is after taking out fees I've made in profit £7,379,
Whoa!
Wow,
and
that's awesome.
I'm maybe halfway through it.
Halfway, huh? Wow.
And
That
what-
was an awesome buy for you
I
guys.
listed for 2 days this week, and I listed £2,000 worth in 2 days because it was like a starter motor at £150 and an alternator at £150.
That's awesome.
It was a deal that was better than I ever could have imagined, really, at the time. I knew we'd make money, but it's good.
Did you have problems with the auctioneers, like not honoring your bids because it was going too cheap?
What happened was the server, which apparently was run by Amazon, it was one of Amazon's servers, failed.
Huh.
And what happened, it was a strange auction where if the highest bid was outbid, they added 10 minutes of time onto the end of the auction. It's one of those. But
Right, a soft end.
at the time when the first 10 minutes was meant to kick in, everything collapsed and they just referred back to whatever bids had been put in at that point. Luckily, I had put my covering bids in. So I was winning the lion's share of what I wanted at that point. So that's what happened. But I spoke to gentlemen who were there to pick up the few items they did win. They were going to put massive covering bids, over and above me on a lot of the stuff. So I did well.
Wow.
I did better than I should have done, really.
It's awesome.
So you lucked out is basically what you're saying. You were ready and you were going to get some, but luck of the draw, you actually came out on top on this.
We missed out on a couple of lots that I would have made even more money on, but I don't think we'd have won half the stuff we did if the auction had run its course properly. There were people up in arms. There were massive arguments going on with the auctioneers.
Wow, I can only imagine.
It was a mess, a real mess. And the liquidators were furious because they didn't get the money they should. The people it was being liquidated for were furious because they got a pittance, really, for what it was worth.
Yeah.
It was a mess. So we grabbed our stuff and ran.
When was that lot that you bought? How long ago?
Crumbs, when was it? February sort of time, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but I haven't listed half of it yet.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really good. So going forward, what is your plan? I mean, are you planning to do a big buy like this, or are you going to kind of ride this wave? I mean, what are your plans, Nick?
I don't tend to plan a great deal. I see.
Nice.
We're actually streamlining.
Controlled chaos.
All of these boxes is Andrea's clearing out her backlog of clothing. We're actually going to sell all of that to another reseller at cost because she's just not going to list it. So she's moving on from that. We're trying to streamline things a bit.
Sometimes that's the best move, man. Just get out from under something.
And also with the car parts, actually, when we get to a certain point and everything has been listed and I've given it X amount of cycles, I'm going to sell it off as a job lot as well. I'm not going to rinse every last penny out of it. I don't see the point in that. I'm going to cash in when I've got a job lot left. That's the slow stuff. I'm going to sell it on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you already got your money out of it. Just make room for new inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah, recoup at least cost back and move on.
Yeah, I mean, I want to at least get everything listed and give it a few cycles to see what I can get out of it. And at that point, I'll auction it all off as one job lot. Because by that point, I don't know how many thousands I'll have made, but I'll be happy to just get rid then and make some space.
Excellent.
I would have rinsed it for every last penny, and I'm over that now. I'm not that bothered.
Nick, I'm going to steal that saying from you, like I have stolen a lot of your sayings. Rinse every last penny. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that was the old me.
Yeah, I think we've all been there where we tried to list every little bitty item instead of just like moving bulk.
Right.
I've learned a lot of that from from watching John. Like John, when he gets a lot of stuff, he gets like this fever. Like, I've got to get rid of this stuff now.
If I have something for longer than a month, I start itching, man. I'm like, I got to get rid of this. I got to move it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, with you, your business, everything moves every week. So a month is an eternity for you. I mean, a month is nothing for me. I'm looking anything over a year, then I start thinking, man, this might not sell. Whereas you're, the second week in, you're like, I got to get this.
Absolutely.
I like Dwayne's question to Nick about the next deal and how Nick's like I don't know, but that's kind of how it is though, right? Like Nick doesn't know, but like 12 hours from now, Nick, you could have another deal fall in your lap, and you're like, and then you move on it, and we see you bringing trucks in to load up more stuff.
Well, I could pretend that I've planned how I got here and I plan to find that auction deal, but I don't plan any of it. I just sort of wing it, really. That's the story of my life.
But what you do, Nick, is you set yourself up to be prepared and ready to pounce. You had the cash, you had the space, you had the means to make it happen, and that's why you were successessful with that.
Yeah, you laid all the groundwork for when that opportunity did knock, you could take advantage of it. Like if that happened to me, I couldn't do it. I don't have the space. I'd be hard pressed to come up with the cash flow for it. And so that's where your planning is, way pre actual auction or sale or whatever. And I think that's an excellent thing, to worry about is setting yourself up for those good deals.
I would say it was less to do with pre-planning and more just getting confidence over years, doing slightly bigger and bigger deals each time. And I didn't have any fear to try and buy the whole place. I didn't have that fear, whereas in the past I would have done. And that's only learned through experience and time.
Awesome.
Right, I think on that note, guys, I'm going to go to bed because it's almost 2 a.m. I've stayed up longer than I expected to anyway. It's been fantastic catching up, and we'll do it again sometime. I'm going to dash. Cheers, guys.
Absolutely.
See you, Nick. Thanks for joining us, man.
See you, Nick.
Cheers, Nick.
So what else like John said, Andy, what are you going to do from here on your goals? Are you changing them? Are you tweaking them? Or are you still sticking with what you have? And how are you going to get there?
I mean, I'm still trying to ramp up my business. Actually, I just opened just last week. Actually, I just opened a premium store. So I went from a basic store now to a premium store. That's actually saving me. I've been kind of comparing numbers, and even though my sales have been down for the last probably 3 months, just with everything that we've been going on, I was kind of comparing a lot of my numbers and this and that, and I'm actually going to save quite a bit of money just by doing that, and I could be able to, relist and do stuff a little better. And then, I'm trying to get my Poshmark, to grow a little bit bigger and really take off. Just this week, I finally got my Posh ambassador, so I don't know whatever that's going to end up doing for me, if it helps me out at all. But so I got that store going, and sales are steady. They're steady. I mean, they're definitely not taking over eBay stuff by any means, but I'm still able to, move stuff over there, and I'm wanting to get all my stuff down here relocated to a different area, but I got to get work through some of this stuff before that ever gets done, because the wife wants to get an area down here where I'm at, so that's going to be a big goal of mine. We've got a lot done. She's done an awful lot with it, which has been great. I think she's been a good help because she wants to be down here with me, so doing stuff like that. So, but I'm just still trying to grow my store a little bit. With working a full-time job and stuff like that, it's hard to grow. I mean, so every little minute and stuff like that is precious. And we got another wedding again next year in June, so it's just my time is just so. You guys have no idea. I have like no time at all for anything, and so, but I just try to make the most that I can with what I have, and still try to make this grow and work. So, we'll get there for sure.
That's awesome. What about you, Pete? Going forward, what are your plans?
More beer, more fishing.
There you go. Hey, there's nothing wrong with those plans.
Honestly, guys, like I mentioned earlier, the only big goal that I had this year is to get a little bit more listings up there on eBay. We are sticking with it. We're right on course. Other than that, no major changes. Not planning to open up another store, not looking for more employees at the moment. Very comfortable where I'm at, and it's coasting. It's doing good. So
Can't
just
ask for anything
sticking
more
to
than
it.
that, right?
Yeah.
If it ain't broke,
You're
don't
coasting
fix it.
uphill. That's the great part. You're coasting uphill. You're not sliding down. So, what about you, John? You brought it up. What are your goals for? I mean, you just had a pretty major thing happen here recently. So,
We did.
that I
Yeah,
don't-
we opened a second location. So my goal was just to get that thing up and running smoothly, and have
You going through
operations.
some growing pains there?
Yeah,
Or-
definitely. Well, it's different guys running it. So as much as I'd like to have control of it and do it, I've got to
It's
train
so-
him and get him up to
wait,
speed.
John, you're giving up some of your control? Really?
Right.
Who talked you into that one?
I did, man. I can't do it unless I clone myself. I got to sleep at some point.
Right. No, that's awesome.
It is
So,
the
but
first.
it's-
It's the first week too, though. I mean,
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
last
Yeah, it's
week was
not been
slow
gone
as
for
hell.
long. So, I just meant, do you see that there's going to be some things to overcome, or is it a fairly smooth transition? Because you've laid down a lot of
we've
groundwork
got to train
already.
our bidders, because some of them are like, "Oh, I can just bid on that auction and pick it up at your location." I'm like, "No, we're not transferring all this stuff. You're going to go over there and get it."
Right.
And just training the guy that's running it to, the things he has to do every week and get him up to speed.
Cool. That's cool. Now, how long was this in the works?
Oh,
I
well
mean,
over
was
a
this
year.
something a year?
Yeah,
You had
it's
kind
been,
of
I've known the
around it.
guy for about 3 years. We've done a lot of business together.
That's great. Well, I hope it goes smooth and everything goes from there.
Thank you, man.
What about you, Lonnie?
wait, what's the question? Okay, no. Okay, so my goals for the rest of the year are to continue to track my listing every day. And a couple of months ago, I had the goal of uploading a video every single day to YouTube. And I think I've missed it's been over 2 months now. I think I maybe missed one day. And yeah, that's working out. So that's another goal of mine, is to upload to YouTube every day, show what I'm listing every day, and continue to try and buy good stuff, the best I can, and just work.
Why are you doing that? Why are you telling everybody what you're listing and how much? Is it? I mean,
It's going to tie into your title here, Dwayne. Obviously, I like where you're leading me. It's going to tie into accountability, right? Like YouTube. I'm using YouTube because I'm selfish. I'm using YouTube as an accountability partner for me. So
That's awesome.
it helps me to share. I think it probably helps a lot of us when we share, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, a lot of it is about being accountable, and having somebody to push you, because being resellers, for the most part, we don't have coworkers. We have our spouse or whatever, but we don't have coworkers that we can kind of compete against or with or be accountable to. So I think that's important, that we have people, like-minded people, that we can that can push us one way or another.
Right.
Yeah, and I think it's important too whenever you do that, because I find a lot of people inspirational. Like, I find Pete inspirational. I find John inspirational. I like Crazy Picker Life. I find them inspirational. I find a lot of these guys inspirational, but I think it's just important not to draw the inspiration, but don't kill yourself by comparing yourself to them. Like,
Right.
like if you compare yourself to Pete or Crazy Picker Life or John's got this awesome warehouse, employees, and all this stuff. If you compare yourself, then you're going to feel bad. So you have to be able to pull inspiration and not the negative side of that, which I think I've kind of been guilty of doing before. Like, man, I'll never get that. That's unattainable. But yeah.
Well, that's a great point, that you need to. Everybody says, "Oh, don't compare yourself to other people," and I disagree. I think you should compare yourself, but also, like you said, do it where you take what you need from them for your business. Don't compare numbers. I mean, because my number and the snippet of our lives that you see on this screen is nothing. I mean, like Andy says, all you see is his numbers, his sales, how good he's doing, but you're not seeing the 80 hours he's putting into this, and the heartache, or the problems that he's having. We don't normally show that. So, everybody's business model is going to be different. You need to glean off what you think will help you, become better in your business model. And numbers are not.
Wait, time out. I sold something 23 friggin' minutes ago. I didn't even know it. But y'all still got a drink. I sold a Badlands tree stand hunting day pack, new without tags, for $110.33.
Awesome, man.
Good job.
Nice.
Crack open another
Good
one.
sale.
Drink it up.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good job. But yeah, like I was saying, you take from. That's what I try and do. I try and learn. I learn from every one person on this panel. I'm not going to compare my numbers with Pete because he's been doing it longer. His business model is different. But I look at some of the things that Pete does and buys and how he negotiates, and I use that to my advantage. Same thing. I've learned a ton from you guys.
You could even learn from you could take a really shitty reseller, like somebody that sucks and they're not making money or anything, but they're probably doing something that you could pull from, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes it's one of those little things that solves a problem that you've been fighting, and it's second nature to everybody, it's to somebody else. But it's like, oh my God, why haven't I been doing that? That makes so much more sense than what I'm doing.
That's a great point, Lonnie. I sometimes wonder when you say shitty reseller or something, but even shitty things that happen as you reselling, nobody wants to share that, right? Because you think it's not interesting. But I've been lately thinking that actually might be very interesting to share that information. The screw ups, the things that you totally missed it, things that don't work out. Because not only that you're teaching somebody, right, don't do this because it didn't work out, you're making yourself kind of better, and you implementing in your head, make sure don't screw it up like this again, if you share things like that. And there's been a couple of videos lately that I kind of put in stuff and then I cut it out, thinking people don't want to see that. But then on the other hand, I'm thinking maybe I should leave that in, and it's sometimes just simple stuff. But then you go, that was amazing. It was simple to me, but overall, in the long run, if I continue doing this is going to be a major screw up. So I think I'm going to start putting in, now when we talk about this, more screwed ups in a business.
Yeah. Well, and you don't know. You can teach people either way. You can teach them the good way, or you can, like you said, teach them. When you screw up, hey, I got to make sure. Oh yeah, Pete bought that one brand. Oh man, it was a horrible deal. People learn so many different ways. I learn a lot from other people's mess ups too, because then I don't have to make that mess up myself. Or like John, he bought however damn many pallets. How many was it? 64 pallets of media or whatever.
Something like
that I would be afraid of doing something like that. But watching him do it, it's like, okay, there is stuff there. I mean,
I don't know.
You can
learn
different things.
I don't know why I'm conflicted on that, because I know John made great money on that, but I still don't think I am ready at this point to take something like that on.
Oh, I know I'm not.
So that's why I like the full disclosure where he's like, okay, I had to have this space, I had to have these people, I had to have this money, I had to have all this in place. And then on the other side, he makes great money. So you see both sides, right? Sure. If all you talk about is the money and you don't talk about all the logistics behind the money, then it might be misleading. For me,
well, not only that, but he didn't do it himself. He had a team of people. He hired extra people. He worked, 90-hour weeks for 3 months, whatever. So
I again, like the same amount of money on all the other stuff, like the overhead, the payroll, the storage. I spent the same amount on all that as I did on the product.
Yeah. So
my investment was doubled, and I knew that because I did math for like 3 days. And I'm like, doing all the numbers, like, half-ass, can we go through this and everything else? And I'm like, yeah, my investment doubled from all that stuff.
See, and that's where the transparency of people really goes to help other people. And I know we're not all here to help people, but even if you're not there, I'm not saying any names, Lonnie, but hey, if I'm just kidding. What people can learn, whether good or bad. I mean, there's, like I said, I've learned something from every one of you guys, multiple things. Some good, some bad, whatever.
Well, you learned
But,
some bad stuff. What was it from who?
Oh, I've learned some things, not to pick up necessarily, or, things that like you, for example, Lonnie, your filter thing. I'm not saying it was a bad buy, but I don't know if I would do it that long tail.
Yeah,
You made
no.
money on it, but it was a long tail to get that money back, and I don't think I would do that.
I don't know if I would do it again either. We talked about this, Dwayne. I laid out the pluses, minuses. And
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. I learned from that. I'm not. Yeah, I just don't know if I would have done that deal after watching you go through all that long tail. And once you said it's easy to list and all that, but it's still something that I learned, and I'm not gonna. There's more logistics behind it than what you see up front, for sure. So where do you go from here, Shane? What's your next 6 months looking like?
So basically, it's just grinding it out every day.
Rise and grind.
Yeah, my next 6 months, I want to be at least in an anchor store by the first of the year. It may be a little longer than that, but that's my goal. And then, so now I'm awaiting monetization for YouTube. So I'm waiting for that, and then I started streaming on Twitch. So so now I'm doing Twitch as well, and I think that eventually, build the store to an anchor store. Then I have a secondary account I want to take to at least a basic store eventually and down the road. So
you're basically all about growth. I mean, you're just trying to grow what you already have.
Well, and for me, it's growth, but it's also the cash flow. I want to have enough cash flow to be able to do bigger deals, which I already do. I mean, obviously buying 70,000 bubble mailers, it was still pretty rough, but it's about the cash flow and being able to put the money up to buy more inventory ahead of time.
What's Twitch? Is it like when your eyes doing something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it could be, but so Twitch is an online platform that's very similar to YouTube, but it's a little different. And I don't know. I think it's good. It's owned by Amazon, and I'm only 2 weeks in, and I am halfway to monetization already. So probably in the next 30 days, I'll be fully monetized on Twitch.
Twitch was really it started out as a gamer YouTube, basically. Everybody, you go on there and play your video games for 8 hours, and people will come in and watch. My son, he's on Xbox Live, and he does that a lot. So, but that's how it started. Twitch was mostly gamers, just
and it still is. It still is.
Yeah, it still is. But it's starting to expand a little bit more out of the gaming community.
They have it's an area of Twitch that's called IRL, and it's called in real life. And so that's where people are streaming, they go to different cities and they stream, around the city, or they stream certain content of if they're biking or whatever. And the in real life content's getting to be pretty large.
Coming as you mentioned the Twitch, that's one thing I did not mention. It's not a goal really, but I want to dabble with the new service that just happened 2 weeks ago from Instagram, the Instagram TV.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start dabbling with that. Little bit different content, meaning it's still going to be about reselling, but I want to do it kind of more not edited, what happened live, kind of shot it, boom, done, 3, 4, 5 minutes video and upload. And I think I can manage on that platform doing that every day, because I can't do it every day by the way I do my videos on YouTube, So
that's really awesome.
That's something that I might try dabbling with for next couple months. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Very cool. For me, I'm kind of like Pete. I'm on track on my goals now.
You're not like Pete, Dwayne.
No. Yeah, you're right. No, I agree.
I call bullshit on that. I'm trying to think of the ways that Dwayne is like Pete.
Oh,
I'm
man.
coming up empty here.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I'm messing with you, man.
That was good.
Oh, I know. So, okay, let me see. How do I say this? The way that Pete is doing his goals the rest of the year, that's similar to what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing because I'm on track for what my major goal was. I did one of the other goals that I did have was to do a little bit more on local apps, which I'm teasing on, but I haven't really stepped into it. I've taken some pictures, but I haven't got them listed yet online on local apps and such. So that's kind of what I was going to branch out into a little bit when I had time. But for the most part, I'm kind of doing similar to Pete on the goal where, I'm kind of just sailing and keeping it going, keeping the efficiency up and doing what I got to do to get to my ultimate goal at the end of the year. So John, what one of the things you said was your new goal was your new what do you call it? Location. There we go. What are your plans for the at home location? Your home location right now for the rest of the year?
We need to get pickier with what we take in because we're getting consigners in like crazy, and we're just getting so much volume, and we just got to reject more and more and more. Like we got to keep upping our average item price because that's really at the end of the day that's the name of the game for us. Got to stop taking more junk and got to have better stuff. Our average item price has gone up consistently. I mean, we are definitely moving in the right direction, but it's got to get better.
Great. Now, do you have a person that does that, or is that just you? Are you the only one that?
It's me and one other guy. That's kind of like our thing, and I've been pulled away from it lately just because I've been doing this other location and everything, trying to get it off the ground.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're raising your per item price, basically, being more picky in what you get and take under consignment.
Yep, that's the goal. Hopefully, we can execute it.
Yeah, well, that's a valid goal to be shooting for. Let's see. I think everybody's gone. Anybody got anything else? I mean, we're only an hour and 15 in, but anybody got anything else that they want to discuss?
Only I'm used to 1 hour shows. Oh, I forgot you guys usually do like 2 or 3 hours on this show.
This is normally an hour and a half. An hour and a half is what we try and hit, and if we get jabbing her, and then it goes a little longer. So
well, maybe we can ask the audience if they have any questions.
Yeah, that's a great idea. You heard him. Anybody in the chat have any specific questions for anybody here on the panel about their goals or accountability?
I have a question for everyone on the panel. Like, what are your my YouTube goal is to just continue to make YouTube videos every day. What are y'all's YouTube goals?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I didn't even think of that one. For me, I'm just going to continue doing what I've been doing. I have started doing some what sell videos. Mm-hmm. And those have been going pretty good. I try and do it at about 30 items, but it seems like, and this is good, that my videos are getting closer and closer together, so it's taking less time to get to about 30 items. So yeah, I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to do my auction as long as it goes the way it's been going.
I just had to laugh. Princess Casserole, Carla, she said, "How can we punish you all if you don't accomplish your goals?"
Oh wow, yeah, there you go. So she wants to be the judge and jury of the accountability here, huh?
Shot caller. I'm thinking shot caller, right?
What about you, Shane? You said you're going to move into Twitch. What are you going to do about YouTube?
So I'm still going to do YouTube. I think the sweet spot for me is around 4 videos a week. And I think that's I'm just going to keep growing it and see where it goes from there, and I'm just going to kind of keep an open mind. And then for Twitch, and then we started doing, me, the Bearded Picker, and then John Nevermore Antiques.
No. This is a YouTube question, Shane, not Twitch.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you.
Whatever.
I'm screwing with you.
I know. We started doing a panel show on Friday nights on YouTube, and then I think we're going to actually try to integrate that and maybe stream on Twitch and YouTube, because you can also do that. But for YouTube, I'm just going to keep on growing it and keep doing, putting out videos and putting out good content. And then, for Twitch, probably just the same. I know last night when I live streamed, literally had like an average of like 17 to 15 people in and out at the same time. And about 70% were from Twitch, not from YouTube. So it's a completely different market. Yeah. So that's
awesome. What
Mary
about you,
Sullivan's
Andy?
got a question. Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Oh, no, go ahead. No, go ahead. Hit Mary Sullivan's question.
Yeah.
Mary wants to know, what could you all recommend for someone that wants to start a YouTube channel? You want to start, Andy?
Well, as far as just jump in. I mean,
Yeah.
that's that's what I did. I started watching these guys and yeah, pretty much everybody on here and what have you. And I was like, man, this would be actually a really good idea. And I did it more for just kind of to document my journey and to help keep me motivated. And if anything, just do it. So if it helps keep you motivated or what have you, yeah, jump in. I mean, all your first video is going to be horrible. We'll just throw it out there right now. All of our first videos, hell, I got my first, I don't know how many videos are horrible. But
for sure.
Because I'll tell you what, I think Lonnie traumatized me more than I think any other person. And he knows exactly. He told me, we were talking kind of one day off to the side, and he goes, I watch every single person's very first video, and I'm like, oh no. And it was probably the worst piece of garbage I've ever, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, just jump in there, man. That's really, I think, the best advice you could probably get is, it's just like anything, you're going to learn from your mistakes. And, I think the community is very supportive anyway. You're going to get a lot of love. So, just do it.
That's what I would say is just like him, just do it and go have fun and enjoy it. Don't make it a chore. Just go out, have fun. I do it mostly for the social aspect. Just like somebody said here a minute ago, that you don't get out much as a reseller. You don't get out into society a lot. So these people here, they do the same thing. So you just go on, you talk, you explain what's going on in your life. People will give you ideas on what to go from, what to do, different things to talk about. Some people just talk about their day-to-day life, and that people are interested because they don't have the same type of life. So yeah, it's really just about doing it.
I think another really good, I guess, tip or pointer or whatever you want to call it is just be genuine, be yourself, be you. Don't be fake. Don't be trying to be, anybody on this panel. Don't be trying to be any other big shot out there. Be yourself, be your own unique individual. And that's what people are going to want to tune into and see.
Yeah. I think my first 2 weeks on YouTube, I only had about one watcher on my live videos, and I felt like I was completely talking to myself. And the videos are like absolutely horrible. But other than that,
and you looked really lonely.
I was super lonely.
Shane, I remember watching some of your lives, like I don't know how long ago it was, and I'd be like, "Damn, Shane is live. Nobody's watching this dude." I'd be like, "Damn, I gotta watch him." I'm like, "Hey, Shane, what's up, man?" And he'd be like,
yeah.
That's what happens though when you start a YouTube channel. Is that sometimes it's out of pity. But then sometimes,
hey, I'm all for a pity sub.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
totally cool with that.
But I mean, but now Shane, I think you had didn't you do something on your channel live? Was that on your channel the other night? You had 70 something viewers.
Yeah.
Maybe more. I don't know. So I mean,
yeah, you'll grow organically. People either like what you're doing, and other people will come on. One of the other things I was going to tell Mary is if you don't like doing it yourself, find another person, because that's kind of how I started. is I had another person and I was a co-host. Shut up, Lonnie. I was a
No.
co-host.
I'm laughing at the chat. Shane,
Oh,
King
okay.
of the pity sub. I did not mean to do that, Shane. I'm sorry.
I love pity subs. Hey, if I can get a pity sub, I'm good.
No,
But
I
I
tell-
started as a co-host on a show with somebody else, and then I, kind of branched off from there. So sometimes, either starting with somebody that is a little bit, has done a few things before and kind of ease you in, or just both of you start out, from the beginning and go from there.
I'm gonna go back to your original question. Going forward on YouTube, what are the plans? And this could be also an answer for Mary. Be 100% yourself, but never look at YouTube potentially that this is gonna be something that you're gonna be making shitload of money out of. Okay. And always try to be really honest what you're showing, and so you're giving out value to your viewers, right? And if people will see that, your channel will grow. I mean, I think that's the number one thing. Yes, entertainment is cool too. I mean, if you are entertaining, of course, but if you're not, you got to provide value, and that's the only way the channel is going to grow. For example, my channel, even though that I have, quite a bit of subscribers, but it seems after being in a game for a while, it plateaued. Okay. And you kind of sit back and you try to think, what are you doing next to make this channel still exciting and for people to come back and watch? So, like, for example, for me, my future project is, which I talked already about at the beginning of the year, and I talked also at the Resellers Rally about it, that I would like to take it on a road. Meaning connecting with other sellers. For example, maybe I'll do a 30-day road trip or 2-month road trip if it's possible. And every other day I will meet with a different reseller that it's running a similar kind of business, but we'll dive in how he runs it. Not only that I can maybe win possibly something from that experience, but I can share it with my audience, how they're doing it. I think that would be a pretty cool concept to do. So every time you're trying to take it up a little notch and try to do something different, and be creative. I mean, that's what YouTube is, just being really creative. Because everybody says just sharing your story, but eventually you sharing pretty much the same thing all the time. Yeah, I know we pick up, from time to time new stuff comes in, you show up, but so you're trying to make it exciting and take it a next step up. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's my next kind of vision for the next steps in my YouTube game.
It makes sense, and I think there's a balance. Once you've been doing it for a little while, I think there's a balance between, like, Pete has real high production value, and I opted to go the route where instead of having high production value, I have a lot of videos. Like, I put out 7 videos a week. I kind of stole that from the Resell Killers because I saw they were, like, I'm not the Resell Killers, but they're pretty successful with, and they've been releasing like a video a day for over a year now. So I think you got to figure out like what you want to do and what you're capable, and like how much time you're willing to put into it. That's the thing, right? Like how much time do you guys put into YouTube? And like, because a lot of times I struggle with YouTube because, I probably put at least, I would say, an hour a day into YouTube.
It's extremely funny when you say that, because I think I put a lot more time and I produce a lot less now. I tell you why. I shoot so much freaking footage and I discard 90% of it because I'm not happy with it anymore. Because that's what you said. I like to, I might have 3.5 hours of footage for that 15 to 20 minute clip, and I will go through all of it. And I'm like, I can't show this. I can't show this. This was stupid. No, this is total crap. And I'm very, very selective what I put in now. So sometimes you'll see throughout my day, oh, that was his day for 20 minutes. In reality, this was probably over 5 days filmed, because you can usually tell that because I'm wearing different clothing on the video. So I'm becoming very selective. So I'm actually putting quite a bit of time and a lot less being produced. So, but that's just, I guess, me after doing it for quite a few years now, you know.
Pete, I got a question for you. Because I've seen you in your shop, and I know how busy you are. I can relate when you've got a handful of employees and you're like the go-to guy, and there's questions and there's all this stuff. How did you evolve into filming a lot? You say you get 3.5 hours a day of filming. So I know you're filming all the time. I've been in your shop. I see you filming all the time. How did you get to that point where you're kind of always filming and make it natural so that you can still work and run your operations? Because I really struggle with that.
You know, so it's funny. So everybody knows, right, in a shop that I'm filming all the time. I could pop up from any corner with the camera all the time. So a lot of times, before they want to talk to me, they first kind of peek into the room. And they go, "Is it on?" I go, "No, it's not on." You know, so it just from the get-go, it was my thing that, guys, I'm gonna do this YouTube channel. It's gonna be about reselling. Let me know from the get-go you want to be part of it, yes or no. If you don't want to be part of it, or you want to be very selective, just let me know. Everybody was on board. You know, everybody was on board, no problem, anytime. And of course, you know, I mean, that's why you have editing, right? I mean, if stuff that it's been said that it doesn't want to be shown, it's not shown. Simple as that. But yeah, everybody is kind of on board. So I guess you got to talk to your guys and let them know that you're trying to do more filming, and find out if they're okay with it, you know. And it might interrupt work a little bit, because sometimes we'll do 90% of the time it's just a one take. I don't do retakes, but sometimes something will not come out right, meaning like the lighting was wrong, I didn't get the right angle, I didn't show. So I will say, okay, you know, it's only 2 minutes. Let's retake this. This is a cool piece. I want to show it. Let's redo it. But that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, Pete's becoming more a director and producer. You know, hey, oh no, cut. We got to redo that. You know,
it's hard when you actually think about it. When you watch my videos, and I've been thinking about that myself. In reality, you don't see me that much in my videos. Unless the camera is just standing there, I'm doing some negotiation. But anything else, you really don't see me because I'm really holding that camera. And either I'm filming somebody else, I'm filming a product, you know. So it's kind of weird. It is being a producer, director, a cameraman, and then editor. You know, it's not an easy gig.
And trying to get work done.
And trying to get work done. That's why I think Lonnie's approach, when he said it, that he took a different approach on it, that he's not focusing so much on quality. He's focusing more just showing really what he's doing. That way he can manage the videos and put them out every day, which is a good approach too. A lot of people like that regular, just, you know, this is how it's going. I'm driving here. I'm buying this. I'm selling this. I'm picking up, you know. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes I think I should just do that too, because it's a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you're right, Pete. Like, I think most of your subscribers, like, if you the daily vlogs are freaking hard, man. They're like extremely hard. I know John's been doing them too, and man, they are tough. But I think people would like. I think the more you upload, the more people will watch. Obviously, more is better.
Yeah, I get it. I did this one poll a while ago. I wanted to figure out how many people are actually resellers and how many are just coming for fun to watch and got nothing to do with reselling. And I tell you, I was very surprised. 60% of the people said that they're only come here for entertainment to my channel. Wow. They don't resell. They got nothing to do with reselling. So it was kind of blown away. That's why I'm kind of sticking with my format. because I got a little bit different, more audience just to come and see what's going on in the shop, or to see me, butcher English completely and some of the shit that I say sometimes and make people laugh. But it's who I am, and for some people, it's entertaining. You know what I mean?
It's a good point you make, Pete, because I think I'm guilty of it, because I only see the comments of people, and the comments are usually resellers. So I take for granted that my audience is resellers, and they're going to know what a bolo is, and they're going to know what I'm talking about. And you've really got to connect to those new viewers and tell them what you're about and what's going on. Somebody might just walk into a video and be like, "What the hell is this? What is this guy doing?"
Well, we just had a question actually in this chat here earlier when we were talking about RA, retail arbitrage. Somebody in the chat said, "What is RA?" Again, like you said, we that's second nature for us, but there's a lot of people that don't know because this isn't their normal gig.
Yeah, how are we ever going to, as YouTube, like, I think we all want like more viewers, but how are we ever going to get more viewers? I was the one that said that. If I throw around terms like RA and assume that people know what the heck that means, you could probably even search that on, like, Google search it, RA, and it's going to probably come up with like resident assistant.
Right.
All right.
We have our own lingo, that's for sure.
Drink up. $20. Big money.
Cool. A great comment Mike made here, Global Voodoo, and he has a ton of experience doing YouTube. He's been doing this forever. Pete is like an episode of Cheers. You're waiting for the show to come up on TV, and that's what I do the way I do my videos, because I realize that a lot of people are just there for the entertainment, it's funny sometimes how YouTube works, because all it takes for your channel to explode, you might be uploading 300 videos, and all of a sudden the 301 will be the video that breaks out, goes viral, and gives you all the popularity and subscribers. And it takes time. I think for me, it was a while before I had a video like that. It was always grinding average viewers, a couple hundred views a video, and then all of a sudden I put out some stupid video about dumpster diving, and it goes nuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every one of us who's been doing this for a while can say the same thing. All of a sudden you make a video that you never actually planned on being something extremely good, and it goes viral. So there is no really, like, you can't predict it. It's you just cannot predict it,
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to try to make a viral video either. I mean, people see right through that stuff. You
can't do it. I don't think you can do it.
No.
But I see people trying. I see people trying really hard, because of the thumbnails, because they had something good go on them. So I did it myself. I know I did it a couple times. You repeat with your video with the same kind of funky looking thumbnail or goofy looking title, similar one, hoping that it might, no, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work.
Everybody's always trying to find that little piece that makes it viral.
Right.
But yeah, that's very true. I mean, I don't have any viral
sale
videos
coming in.
Sale
coming in. Let's see. Incoming. We got excellent use condition Fry black harness boots, men's size 9, authentic. I don't know why I put that. 13 inches tall. Sold for $120 plus shipping.
Nice.
Hey, man.
Okay, so when we started this whole drinking thing, we must have not been very good resellers, because we'd have like one sale, an entire hour and a half, and now we get like 5 or 6, 3 different people, 2 different. You made $250 tonight, Lonnie, or something in sales. It's awesome.
I didn't make it tonight though. That's the key. I made it when I listed it. That's the way I look at it. I made it when I write my numbers on my board every day. I tell myself I just made that money.
Mm-hmm.
That helps my motivation. But yeah,
that's great. Yeah.
But yeah,
I think we're just all getting better at the reselling thing, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there were times that nobody'd have a sale the entire time, and even with Pete here, he's only had one tonight, which is crazy.
No,
Or
he's not.
He's only told us about one.
He put his phone on silent.
Yeah.
No, eBay is slow.
Wait, so summer slowdown. Pete said he's summer slowdown. Pete's got that summer slowdown video about to drop, I think.
I think I actually my sales are down about 25%.
Wow. Okay.
From previous couple months, so it is obviously down, but it is up about 40% from the last year.
Oh wow.
So
overall growth, but you're month to month you're a bit down. That's can't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah.
So are there any other questions before we get out of here? Uniquely me, I think we kind of answered your question. She said, can you all discuss the time you put into YouTube and whether it helps or disturbs your work hours?
Wow.
We basically went through that.
I don't know, dude. That's a tough balance, man. That's one I fought. Like, that's one you gotta keep YouTube in check, because it's not just YouTube. It's not just shooting videos, editing videos, and uploading videos. There's a lot of other crap that comes with, not crap. Let me rephrase that. That's a bad way to put it. But there's a lot of stuff that goes along with it. Like, social media, if you let it can come along for the ride. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Like you get a lot of messages, you get a lot of there's a lot of stuff that can distract you when you make YouTube videos. So,
for sure. Mine, for example, mine with the auction show, I put in a couple hours on the auction show night, but I figured it out. We do about 8 to 10 hours after that.
Right.
Compiling all the information and shipping, all that. So it's all that back stuff, that backdoor stuff that people don't see.
Well, yeah, we don't need to see that on YouTube. You may have some,
that might be going viral though if you were to do that. So,
but I mean, you're in control of that though, right? Like you're in control. Like you're in control of the whole process. So I don't know. Like Pete could probably speak better on that because he has like a jillion subs over there, and that's something I struggle with. As a channel grows, you can't answer each and every little comment that comes in, even though you appreciate them all. That's something I struggle with, because I used to answer every comment, and now I just it's just too much. It's time.
It's almost impossible later on, because remember, the more you produce the videos, not only the comments are coming in on a current video that you just did, but comments are coming in constantly on the videos that you did in the past, especially the more popular ones. So it's tough. When I put out a video and I have a little bit of time at the beginning when it comes out and the comments are coming in, yes, I will answer right away, a few comments and do a like and do this and that. But then it becomes, just when you wake up next morning and you have 400 comments, I can't sit down for a couple hours and read the comments. Like reading a book, So you go through them throughout the day here and there, and you try to answer. That you got to do, you can do best you can do. That's all. I can't even imagine the guys who are putting out videos and they have 1 million views every single day. Try to read, 72,000 comments.
That's crazy.
I'm sure they've that was one of the things that probably went to the wayside. They may scan down and say, "Oh, okay, I want to answer that one," but yeah, I'm sure that answering every single comment's just not feasible at that point.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean to get sidetracked on comments. I mean, just the whole there's way more that goes into making YouTube videos than just like I shoot for like 30 minutes. There's way more time editing, uploading, comments, Facebook. There's way more stuff, man.
It's time consuming.
No, it really is.
It's time consuming, and the bigger you guys get, and the more subscribers, the more bullshit comes with it as well too. Just like Mike said here, I noticed. Just wait until you get stalkers.
Yeah.
Stupid stuff like that, or people start messing with you, or just like I had it, a couple months back, that I did a video about my auction that I'm doing on an amplifier that bunch of trolls came in and just blew up my eBay account, my auction. There's just there's lots of love coming in, but there's also, a little bit of hate. Don't get, try to it doesn't really bother me, but it's when it starts messing with your livelihood, that's when it gets on top of my nerves, that somebody's screwing around with you. But that's part of the game. You're gonna get those haters.
Yeah,
For
for sure.
So, any other questions before we get out of here? I didn't see any
channel
since
is on
I said that
next
last. Lonnie is the scheduled one. Is that cool with you, Lonnie?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Ready.
All right. So, Lonnie's on next week. So, we'll look forward to that. He'll come up with something to talk about. I'm sure.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be probably. It's gonna be
It's gonna go
scandalous.
viral.
Yeah, he'll come
Viral.
up with it Sunday about an hour before the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, guys, what do we want to do? That's usually how it goes.
That is behind the curtains, like Wizard of Oz stuff we don't talk
Oh,
about.
sorry. All right, guys. Well, let's get out of here. I wanted to thank everybody on the panel for coming in. Thank Pete for stopping in. Nick stopped in, which was great to hear from him. We don't talk about it very often. And,
God damn it.
Wait,
What
I'm
is that?
curious. I'm curious. What
Yeah, what
was
a superstar. What
Andy.
hey now.
that? $4 million a year superstar.
Whoa, hey now.
I want to know more.
Right. All right, guys. So when is your guys' next video? You got
Tomorrow.
John and Lonnie? Tomorrow. You're gonna
Tomorrow
do
is my next video. Every day. Every day.
Oh, yeah,
Tomorrow.
I mean your. Yeah, I got you. Is it now? You're this week in reselling. You guys,
It's gonna be a Thursday,
On
2
Thursday.
o'clock Central on the Cincinnati Picker YouTube channel.
okay? There you go. I guess everybody else doesn't have a regularly scheduled program, right? You guys, other than like you said, Lonnie every day once. Yep. And John, Cincinnati Picker, will be on my auction show on Saturday, so make sure we check that out. Yeah. Well, you always bring good stuff, man. You get some cool things. So.
I will do my best, my friend.
Yeah.
Want to do your
So,
auction
all right,
justice.
guys, we're going to get out of here. We will see you next week. Have fun.
Bye, guys.
Hey, everybody.